and salutations, guys. Welcome back to the Audioprism Show. It is February 8th, 2016. It has been an exciting month since I last saw you, but I'm not going to go too far into details on the intro part because we're going to be talking about a lot of it throughout the show. I want to start, of course, by noting that, there's many things that we're paying attention to this month, including Black History Month and Valentine's Day, which is just less than a week away now. So if you're the type that's very into the shopping thing, now's the time to get shopping and get your fabulous things together for your favorite lady or man. Let's start first with the Red Dress Party recap. It was this past Saturday, February the 6th at Tongue and Groove. I have some pictures that I kind of pulled off some of the Facebook things. This is one of the pictures by Paul Biaggi. He was the event photographer, as he's been for the last several years for the Red Dress event. And, that was the Step and Repeat banner. You were going to see hundreds of pictures on Facebook of the different people that got their pictures taken in front of that. And then our next picture here, this is on the left side, to me is on the left, is Rusty, Brian Rusty Newport. He is the organizer of the event. And then we also have, Brian Rusty Rusty, it's just Rusty. And Paul Biaggi is the photographer right there in the middle. And then that's there, Michael Colson, who has also done a lot to help drive attendance for the event. Our next picture here is some of the ladies in their fabulous red dresses. You may recognize some of them if you hang around out and about with the group. If not, they're all fabulous ladies to know, and you can attend next year's Red Dress event and meet them all. So we have one more picture, I think, that I got in here. And this is just kind of a little bit of an eagle-eye view of Tongue and Groove. Some of the, fog machine was kind of going out, so we didn't get it as clear as we would have liked. But you can kind of get a little hint. It was beautiful. It was a fabulous event. And I wanted to definitely give some very specific shout-outs to 33 Events as the organizer, all the tireless volunteers that helped with the silent auction and with the models and the fashion show, which was emceed amazingly by Christopher Mackin, also known as Mr. M Famous. And, at Tongue and Groove, contact Donnie for your event. She was such a pleasure to work with, especially for me as a performer. We don't always get the greatest welcomes sometimes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to bring up the Get This Winter Over With party. It's on February 27th. The venue is as yet to be announced, but that is the Jingle Mingle follow-up party where we all start getting ready to, just kick back and blow off some steam after all the organizing of last year, and also get ready to move into this year's entertainment and function, which this year is just going to be so much bigger and so much better. We are so glad of our comeback in 2015, and we hope that you are part of 2016 with us. One more thing, karaoke, G's Midtown, Sundays and Thursdays. Sundays we usually start at 6 for Valentine's Day, which is this coming Sunday. We are starting an hour later at 7, and that is, because we have some fancy dinner stuff going out at 10th and Piedmont. If you want to take your loved one out for a really super special dinner package, check out the 10th and Piedmont offerings, and you can then come over and join me on the G's Midtown side for karaoke. Thursdays go from 9 till 1, and every Thursday we have a theme. So come out, have fun, learn something new about music, teach us something about music, because, no matter how much music we listen to, there is always more. And speaking of music, let's get into some hits. First, we're going to go off the charts. All right, guys, so I listen to tons of music, and I like to pick out things that go with the month. And as I mentioned earlier, we have Black History Month, and we also have Valentine's Day. So for the off the charts, first we're going to we do a song for Black History Month, and this one is a very new song. It just dropped about a week ago, and it's Joe. His name's Joe. Joe Thomas is his full name, but he's a R&B singer, mostly known as Joe. He first hit the recording scene with Mercury Records in 1992. He had Billboard charting hits including Don't Want to Be a Player and I'm in Love, and he's had collaborations with Brandy, Mariah Carey, and Big Punisher. In this song, he fuses a soulful rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner and elements of Otis Redding's Try a Little Tenderness, with strong lyrics of empathy for one another and a call for greater understanding of the realistic situations faced by people every day. This song is called Our Anthem, and it's by Joe.
At the twilight's last.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. I'm trying something new a little bit this time, just to help with time, because I always have so much to do every episode. And so I didn't hear the music, but hopefully you heard it. Please go check out the track. Again, that is Our Anthem by Joe. My next song, this is Kahng, Make You Smile. It's a new song. This is my Valentine's Day offering. This is off her 2015 album, Love Stuff. Kahng, you might really recognize from her hit X's and O's, but she has this really wonderful soft side to her. She's an LA native who was born to former model London King and actor-comedian Rob Schneider. Check out that pedigree. Her song X's and O's earned her 2 Grammy nominations, and she has shared the stage with Ed Sheeran, Dashboard Confessional, Modest Mouse, and more. Her style is described as alternative rock or indie pop. This love song off her album Love Stuff showcases the softer pop side and her very distinctive voice, and it's a beautiful listen, so go check out that and all her other great hits off that album. And now, it's time for some musical resurrection. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to do them in the same order again. So for Black History Month, I went back to 1995, and I found this hit called Freedom. Well, it was not even a hit, really, but it was a song that was recorded for a movie called Panthers, and it was a collective force of female artists that joined together to record this song as the theme for the Panther movie. It was originally recorded in 1994 by underground R&B artist Joy for her album The Pendulum Vibe. The re-recording of the song took place after the 1995 American Music Awards, and it is a tribute to Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Rosa Parks, Coretta Scott King, and all other black women who have played major roles in, just the progression of black people and their social moments. Whew, running out of breath. I'm talking myself out here. All right, guys. So anyway, over 60 female artists and groups of notes, including Aloia, Vanessa Williams, Mary J. Blige, MC Lyte, Queen Latifah, In Vogue, TLC, SWV. This particular version that's playing right now is the rap version. The audio quality was much better to find, but there's a beautiful R&B version of it out there as well, and there are links to both of those versions in the description below. My Valentine's Day offering for Resurrection is Etta James, At Last. Most of us are really familiar with Etta James. You cannot avoid it at weddings and karaoke nights. She recorded this version in 1960. It was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame in 1999. It was originally written in 1941, however, by Matt Gordon and Harry Warren for the musical film Orchestra Wives, and was performed in the film and on record by Glenn Miller and his orchestra. So it's the epitome of a classic or a standard. Now, guys, it's time to start talking with incredible people. My first guest is Sheneka Anthony. Sheneka is one of the founders of Two Black Girls Productions. After gaining experience in business and hospitality, Sheneka has teamed up with Amaris Henry to start a company that would showcase and further develop their fields of expertise in networking and business-to-business relationships. All right, well, welcome, Sheneka. I'm so happy you were here to join us today.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, excellent. And I'm loving the hair color. I haven't seen you since you did. I have to mention it. I have to because it really, it looks good.
I just like purple. I was feeling very purpley today.
There was a point when I had purple streaks in my hair too.
Exactly.
It's just a great color. Okay, so let's start with, you definitely have a passion for helping small businesses. And did you grow up with that as an influence, or was that something a path that you found yourself on?
Kind of a mixture of both. Where I'm originally from, this little small area in Germany, we're really big on everything being kind of communal, everything being sustainable, everything being there. Moving to the States, and everything just seemed so corporate, and there was no face to people and everything like that. So as I kind of came along and got involved in more things in the community, I wanted to make things more personal. So it was just natural for me to fall into, okay, well, these are the things around me, and these are the things that I can kind of expose and get into, especially living in Atlanta because it's such a huge market for small businesses and entrepreneurs. So we just decided to be that link between it all.
Okay, so we're talking, it's Amaris. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did. Amaris.
Yay! I go through a lot of names, and most of the time I get them right, but every once in a while, so a lot of times when you're partnering with somebody, it can be really hard to find somebody that shares a common vision or goal. So how did it develop business-wise between you?
Our business connection is actually interesting. We met in the military together. Like, we were a part of the same unit. And both of us tend to have like bubbly personalities, and people just talk to us for some reason. And then as time went on, she started her own business where she kind of specialized in event planning, and then I was more the marketing side. So one day I was just like, Amaris, this makes sense for us to work together and just create this entity outside of us together. So we kind of made a partnership between our two companies.
We have a picture of you and Amaris. This is the one I got off of your Facebook. We give her a little bit of FaceTime here. Let's get that. There we go. See, well, we're working on the picture thing a little bit. Here. Yes, exactly. the many incarnations of Sheneka. So your focus is on networking events, seminars, classes, and entertainment for small businesses. What are some of the type of services you would provide for a seminar or a class?
When it comes to seminar and classes, a lot of small businesses don't really know how to market themselves or how to reach out to other businesses or even their target market mix. So we would really kind of teach them how target markets are broken down, how social media marketing works, how to figure out how to make those connections, and how to really think outside of the box, because everything doesn't really have to be textbook. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't realize business is really creative, and the more creative you can be, the more you can kind of like personalize and customize it. So that's what we teach during such things.
Mm-hmm. And personalizing it too. Let's see, I have a couple of pictures I pulled off Facebook from your company page. The first is from the Boo Bash in October. Oh, well, we'll do this one first then. This I really liked because you do a lot of business for this, a lot of small business support. And this is Sweet Auburn Seafood. Yes.
So. That actually wound up being both of our favorite restaurant now. Like, we adore Sweet Auburn Seafood. I'm actually a pescatarian, so it's really hard for me to find somewhere to eat where it's a large variety of things. I always wind up just getting grilled fish or this or that. It was a business meeting, and we try to have those meetings at small places so that we can bring more attention to it, and just we fell in love with Sweet Auburn Seafood. Like, if you haven't tried it, go try it. It is absolutely amazing.
And you will be doing small biz shout-outs throughout the month of March for female-owned businesses.
Yes, a lot of people don't realize that March is just Women's History Month, just like February's Black History Month.
Yes.
Right now we're highlighting Black History Month. Soon as March hits, we're shouting out females in business and creative arts and entertainment. Anything that women are doing to empower themselves and make a name for themselves, we definitely want to bring that to the forefront.
Yes. So that's excellent. And there is really interesting talks about the income disparity still between men and women, which is a whole nother issue for a whole nother day. But it really, really does help a business when you are supporting each other in kind, especially as women or minorities.
Yeah, we've come across the fact that a lot of women don't know how to kind of name their price or name their value. Yes. And we're taught to be so docile and submissive. And when it comes to doing business, we can be just as cutthroat as men. I know cutthroat kind of sounds like negative,
Harsh.
but we
Not
have a
friendly.
value and we need to do, like, we need to be paid accordingly. So
Right.
it's one of those, like, this is what we can do. I am woman, literally hear me roar.
Yes.
So.
And we appreciate that because we roar loudly. All right, did we find the Boo Bash pick? No. Oh, that's totally okay. But
It's okay.
since I've talked about it, I obviously don't want to let it slide by. So Boo Bash.
So our Boo Bash Blowout was basically our huge introduction as Two Black Girls Productions as one entity instead of two separate companies.
Okay.
And Halloween also happens to be my favorite holiday. So it was just a time for us to dress up and just like thank our current clients and anyone else who had an interest and stuff like that. So it was just come out, have fun. We actually rented out a speakeasy.
Yes.
And it was just this huge thing. We gave away prizes for the best couple's costume and the best individual costume. So
Of course.
it was fun and we enjoyed it.
Yay. Well, okay, so do you have any public events coming up?
What we're working on now is part of us giving back and building this whole idea of community is working with some of the nonprofits in the area. There is a school called Warren Technical School that's a part of DeKalb County that doesn't really get a lot of funding. So we've been working with them as far as a clothing drive, building a canned food shelter and drive for them as well. They have a huge field day and everything coming up, so we're trying to help build their mentor program, build sponsors for them, and then help build up that whole program. They have 12 different like certifications that these students can get because they're technically the No Child Left Behind students.
Yes.
It's us helping them put another foot forward to become even like more productive members of society. So that's our big baby as far as March goes. And then in April and May, we are actually working on a women's health and fitness kind of seminar going on where we plan on bringing in women that are in business to show that empowerment, but also discuss, you know, how women can be healthy and get back to being like organic and that whole community sense as well. So those are all coming up. They'll be announced on our website that launches in March.
And the website is?
It will be twoblackgirlsproductions.com, the number 2. There's nothing up right now because we're still working on all that stuff, but you can find us on Facebook.
There's a link below in the description to your Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can find us on Facebook and see all the different things we're doing there. We're actually kind of really excited about the springtime coming up.
Yeah.
It's going to be a busy season for us.
I believe so, and I will be watching out for that. And, you know,
Thank
anytime
you.
you have any special, you know, things, especially with the community events, please let me know, and I'll definitely put them on the show. And
We have
on our
already put
website.
you on the list of people that we want to contact.
Wow.
Just because I love you.
Just because they love me. Yay. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Indeed,
you.
we will be very interested to see what happens with Two Black Girls Productions and all their outreach. And speaking of outreach, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually give you a hug. And then we're going to get started talking about our featured nonprofit. So Al's going to get that logo up here for me. Thank you. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is the featured nonprofit for this month. This is Girls Rock Camp Atlanta. And I learned about Girls Rock Camp Atlanta last summer when DJ Yvonne Monet of Yvonne Monet Events and DJ Reed De La Vega, I joined them to do a DJ exhibition for the girls. And what it is it helps cultivate and create interest in music for girls that often don't have a lot of access to being a rock star, even having the experience of playing with an instrument or learning how to write songs or the many other facets that go along with music, including a live performance. It's a 6-day camp every summer. And at the last day of the camp, they actually do perform live in front of their friends and their family at public venues, so they get to do actual professional performing, which is great. They form their own rock bands. They perform in the showcase. You can help lots of ways with this program, either by assisting with the camp and needed supplies. She said gift cards for Publix and other venues and such are welcome, so they can get snacks and refreshments and stuff for the girls. People also donate equipment, so if you have, an old mixer or an old guitar pedal or just something that you've been sitting there staring at it collecting dust, please, please, please contact them because they will be more than happy to take your donation off your hands. Right now, the 6-day camp is for girls ages 10 to 16. Girls that are 17 and 18 can actually apply to be counselors for the program as well. Right now, they have their Ladies Rock Camp getting ready to go on. The registration for that is already closed. I believe it closed last week. This is an annual 3-day rock and roll fantasy camp experience for adult women. It benefits the funding for the Girls Rock Camp. So again, sort of like a little mini Girls Rock Camp, but for grown ladies. And to let you learn a little bit more about it, we're going to have to play this promotional video that they have put together about Girls Rock Camp. But everything applies to Ladies Camp. That applies to Girls Rock Camp. Go by. You can make donations to help out with tuition. You can, do equipment. You can just make straight out donations to them for, purposes that they can use for helping the girls get registered or promoting their cause. All right, let's go ahead and flip that.
Loudest noises come out of the littlest people's mouths.
Earplugs very much encouraged around here.
It's really important in the new millennium that we have a consciousness about what's going on around us. We're bombarded with images, we're bombarded with norms and values that aren't necessarily our own, and that make us feel bad about ourselves.
Stacy was the one who decided that Atlanta needed a girls' rock and roll camp.
I'm gonna scream, and then I'm gonna squeeze Stella's hand, and then she's gonna scream. Ah! I'm just a poor boy. I
need It's not just about music. It's about trying to create a safer space where girls can be mentored and encouraged and honored and respected.
We absolutely 100% need this in our music community.
Rock Camp provides an outlet for musicians to give back to the community.
All right, so if you love music and you want to help other people learn how to love music or get a better understanding of music, this is a great way to get started, especially with the younger generation, and that is www.girlsrockcamp.org. Excuse me, girlsrockcamp.atl.org. Let me make sure I get that perfectly right. And again, the link in the description below. All right, my next guest, guys, is Chucky Kahng. I am so excited to welcome to the set. He is the CEO of Chucky Photo. He is widely known for capturing the essence of nightlife throughout Atlanta at a wide variety of notable venues and events. I've had the pleasure of watching his team in action time and time again at the Jingle Mingle and various venues around the city, which we are going to talk about a few of those. And seeing the pictures afterwards is always fun. You get to relive your moments with your beautiful moments with your beautiful friends, because according to Chucky Photo, everyone is beautiful. Chucky, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for coming on.
Well, thank you for having me here.
Pleasure to actually get to talk to you. Every time we see each other, he's taking pictures and I'm playing music, and it's always like, hey, hi. Pose. All right, I'll see you later.
It's actually pretty rare that we're sitting side by side and working together like this. Usually I'm hovering behind you or something like that. So.
Getting that nightlife perspective. Yes. Well, again, as I said earlier, I'm always interested in what draws people to certain things. So was it always an interest of yours for photography, or is it something that kind of develops? Did you have like a eureka moment where you're like, "Whoa, I really like this"? Or?
Well, I would say I'm that guy that likes to have all the latest gadgets. So like if it's the latest game console or like a video CD player or maybe like a portable camera. I'm the one to get the latest model. And somehow I got my attention towards the camera, the small ones, the compact ones. And I would carry them around and then take photos of, my friends' birthday parties or gatherings or whatnot. And that's how I kind of got into it, but it wasn't until much later when someone said, hey, you're taking so many damn pictures, why don't you just get like one of the bigger ones? I was like, you know what, maybe not a bad idea. Yeah, so that's how I got started.
And then you got your camera and spent some time studying it, I'm sure.
Yes.
I just got a bigger camera, I guess. That's what I do this. But what are some of the different considerations and logistics you have when you're doing nightlife photography versus, say, like portrait or other types of photography?
Well, I guess a lot of times, like what people, for example, studio photography. Mm-hmm. So the objective of a studio photography, like let's say what people call like a model shoot or like a fashion shoot, would be that a lot of times you get everything all choreographed, prepared, all planned out for that day, and then you just shoot the hell out of it to get like 2 or 3 really good, perfect photos. So but what we do differently, or actually what's different about the genre of photography that we do, is that every shot that we have to take has to be good.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like perfect, not Pulitzer Prize worthy, but has to be good, because we can't have like, just like, 2 or 3 groups of photos being good and then you just discard the rest of the whole crowd. We just can't have that. People get angry. They're like, where are the photos? And then, we can't go out anymore.
Yeah. Well, let's look at some of these photos. We've got, let's see, our first one here is from Opera. This is a group of party goers. And so you can see there, guys, you pick up the color and the lights and the different style of the venue. Our next picture, this is Schizophrenic, which was...
this was a
launch party.
It's a launch party for like a adult card game.
Yes.
And it's they're trying to get the themes out there. They're posing here in this photo is illustrating like what they're supposed to do in parts of the game, and it's just still in the launch phase. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I can't really get into a whole lot of it though.
Launch parties.
Yes.
There's another avenue. Okay, Our next picture here. This was Needworks. And this, I thought it was so funny because it was such a Laverne and Shirley kind of moment sort of thing, doing it our way. And if you don't know that show, go look that up. That's such a dated reference, but that's okay. And then, of course, I had to slide one in here from the Jingle Mingle because you want to see some epic, beautiful, beautiful photo. I love it. You caught the lights. That Area 51 did so amazingly well. And so, yeah, there you guys go. There's what a really good photographer can do for your event. Without naming names, what is one of the funniest or strangest things you've ever caught on camera when you were going through it later?
Well, I mean, there's actually several different kinds. There's sometimes when people think it's a good idea to pose for something and it goes horribly wrong. And one would be where one instance was when 2 guys were like, hey, it was like some beer festival. And they'll be like, okay, I'm going to have a cigar in my mouth, and this guy's going to roundhouse and kick it out. So I'm like snapping away like fast as I can to capture that quick moment, and then it just kicks right in the face instead, knocks it out. That's one version. The second is, it's more of I found out later because only the person contacted me. So it was like one event where there was like it's very like a seductive theme, one of those like red light district parties.
Oh, goodness.
And one girl that went on this like a dance platform where the go-go dancer would go up, and she start like disrobing into her like very fancy lingerie and start dancing around. So we caught the whole thing. Later, we get a frantic message, oh my God. And apparently she just went over her limit a little too much. And, she got, But the most epic, the funny moment was, it was like one of those wedding things. And then, there's apparently like this couple that was there. They got too engulfed in the moment and they're partying. And obviously we're going to capture all that. Later we found out that they were party crashers. They were party crashers. And now they're caught all in the photos. Everybody knows, like, they were like, who are these people? But now everybody knows who they are. So, they got caught like that. So that was pretty funny.
That is hilarious. My goodness. Well, where are we going to find you in the upcoming days? Because you keep a pretty steady schedule bouncing around the city.
I'm usually at the big spots, but like I guess one thing more noticeable that's coming up would be the Oyster Fest.
Oh,
that's on the
good.
13th.
Yes,
Yeah, just before
yes.
Valentine's Day. Yes, that'll be one.
I may have just found my pre-Valentine's Day plans. I'm working on Valentine's Day, so I was thinking, going, what to do.
And then there's I think a happy hour launch at the SDK this Thursday. It's early evening, around I think 6 o'clock.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
What day was that?
I think Thursday. I think I have it here. Yeah, this Thursday. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
This Thursday.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I'll be there, and then
let's get a little more specific here.
yeah, and then probably I'll be at Havana on Friday. Also opera on Saturday.
And you can go to www.chuckyphoto.com. Now that's Chucky, Chucky, photo, Photo. So when you're looking for it, that's what it's doing. All right. Thank you so much for coming on, Chucky. I know there's a lot of people that are actually excited that they got to see a little bit behind the camera, and you should do it more often. I believe after the Oyster Fest, we should bring you on and be like, so how was it? And you can show us,
Get some oysters.
Yes, exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take an all good minute with comedian Jessica. It's All Good Williams.
I like the intro. That was hot. Oh, sorry, we're on. I'm Jessica, it's All Good Williams, and this is an all good moment. Now, how do you make life all good? Here's a suggestion for you. Hug your circumstances, people. That's right, hug your circumstances. So what am I talking about? I found this out one day. I was getting a parking ticket. I got upset. I was like, no, Atlanta, you're not going to take my money. But then I realized that parking ticket lady did nothing to me. So I jumped up and I hugged her like a big old bear hug. It threw her off, possibly because I was randomly hugging her. But then she said, no one ever does this. It's usually a different reaction. Then it hit me. This is great. Where could we apply this elsewhere in life? Got an unexpected bill? Hug that bill. Hug the mailman. You got a crazy neighbor? Knock on that door. Say, hey, your music may be loud and you suck, but I'm going to hug you anyway, because positivity is awesome. Got a spouse getting on your nerves? Hug your husband. Hug your wife. Might lead to a much better night. Are you single? Hug yourself. Sorry, excuse me. Hug yourself. Now, I know that sometimes you're thinking you can't hug everything. Right. If you're riding down the interstate and someone flips you off, that's not a good time to hop out your car, chase them down, and try to hug them. But maybe when you get home, you can get out, go around to the hood of the car and say, hey, I'm so glad they didn't hit you. You're thinking this is crazy? Well, I dare you to try it. I challenge you to try it. What's the most it could do but bring you positivity or a restraining order? My name is Jessica Allgood Williams, and if it's good with you, it's good with me. If it's not good with you, nobody was asking you in the first place. Thank you.
And this is why we love her. By all means, guys, get your all good fill anytime. Make sure you go to her website. The link is, of course, in the description below. All right. Next, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into the unsigned portion with this month's featured musician, Wesley Cook. Haha.
Hi.
He caught the cue. Like any good musician, last minute he's like, I'm in.
He's like, what?
What?
Dude.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing you, or possibly reintroducing you. I'm sure many of you probably know who Wesley is, but if you don't, he's a popular Atlanta singer-songwriter who has shared the stage with such acts as Zac Brown, Sublime, Rachel Platten, A Great Big World, Tonic, Santigold, Edwin McCain, and many more. Rolling Stone says, upbeat positivity is a West constant in his music and in his attitude.
Where did you hear that stuff?
Media. He's received awards from the Georgia Music Awards, Jezebel Magazine, Athens Music Awards, and I know this past Saturday you just had another nomination at the Georgia Music Awards, although...
Well, this was the Georgia Entertainment Gala.
Oh, sorry.
And it stopped that nomination. I didn't win jack squat. I didn't win jack.
You're still a winner. You're still a winner.
I don't care, man. It was cool. It was cool anyway,
Did you get a
man.
few free drinks out of it?
What?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. That's why I just posted about getting back to the gym, because I was like, oh, God, where am I? What am I doing with my life?
Exactly. You got to phase back in.
Yeah, totally.
It has to feel good that so many people embrace your music. You are constantly out and about in different venues and working, and I know you donate a lot of your time to different causes and different outreaches. I saw your little ID badge today for Northside Hospital, was it?
Yes. Yeah. I played in their lobby like a couple of weeks ago, and just to do something. So they were like, all right, well, this is kind of different. We don't really know who you are or what you do, so why don't you come in and just kind of see whatever. But they really liked me, and so then they started like giving me like the TB tests and background checks and all this stuff, because I'm going to be playing where the infusion centers are, where chemo's happening, like bone marrow transplants. So I'm going to suit up and stuff like that.
Yeah, you definitely.
I've actually done that one other time, but this time I'm working with the hospital directly. So we're gonna.
That's wonderful. I'm so excited to hear that.
Help some folks.
I see
Get some spirits.
you made a few side trips along your musical path, and yes, I saw you worked at Starbucks for a few months.
I went to Starbucks for 2 months. I was never even
3
certified.
months,
All I
according
did
to
was crack.
LinkedIn.
3 months wasn't okay. See, I paid a lot of attention at Starbucks.
Exactly.
Man, they got rid of me. Well, more like I kind of fired them. But I mean, I was so incompetent that it doesn't really matter. Like, all I did was make like these cracked out concoctions. Like, I was just kind of in the back. They're like, do you know how to make anything legit yet? It's like, no. It's like, that's cool, man. We're super busy. You don't get in our way. I was like, boom, dunzo.
Yes.
Caffeine.
I can put on the whipped cream.
Yeah, right.
There we go, and sprinkle.
That's for you, sugar pie, honey bunch.
Okay, well, that was a tiny
Legit.
little side trip. You had a slightly larger side trip using your degree in linguistics, because I saw you went to University of Georgia. So what came first, the linguistics interest or the songwriting interest, or was it all just kind of one thing that you just always loved words, so you made songs, or you always loved songs, so you wanted more words, or...
That's a really good question. I guess the way I put it is music is my favorite language, because I was raised abroad my whole life, like
There's tons of stuff
in Deutschland.
Yes.
So speaking a bunch of different languages growing up, I guess the first sign was when I did like guitar solos in front of my stuffed animals when I was like 5. Oh. I was like, this is pretty sick in the head. I know this is not normal.
I'm rocking this
I guess
out.
I better just do this. All right, I hear you, God.
I'm in.
So, yeah, but when I got to college, like, I lived abroad my whole life, so coming to the States was like a huge, like, what is all this? It was crazy to come here, because I had never started here. I started somewhere else. So I just adapted to my new culture, which happened to be like you go to school for a thing and you do that thing.
Yes.
Nobody told me to do anything. My parents were very supportive of whatever I want to do. As long as you're working and you're happy and you're doing something, you're not hurting yourself, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I went through college. I was almost a special forces candidate, actually. I had a really different path in college. I did ROTC and stuff like that. I was in real good shape. Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the time, I was in good shape. And so, at the time...
Now he's struggling to make it to the gym on Monday after,
like,
a party.
Oh, why? Why, God? So, I did that. But then I had my aha moment, like, right after I graduated. I was weeks away from signing on the dotted line with somebody.
Yes. And
I
you
would've
can
done it
tell a
mentally.
true artist by looking at their work history, because a lot of us dabble in things on the side. I know I did bartending and serving and stuff on the side, even all throughout being a DJ. And service industry is flexible, and that's why so many people end up in it. But you did work for about a year in your linguistics profession.
Yeah, because I did graduate.
Yes, because you might as well use it a little bit somewhere.
Kinda. Plus, it was off the wall. Like, how in the hell did I get a job doing linguistics?
Yeah.
What is that?
I
mean, I went to college for it, but it's like, where do you do that? They're like, well, you're in good shape, so why don't we teach you to shoot stuff in different languages? I was like, okay, that makes sense. Why not? Let's do it. Shamahome. And I was like, wait a minute, I don't like shooting stuff.
Wow. Yeah.
I'd much rather make music.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
there's far more positive outcome.
Much more positive. But there's like a little nugget of stuff and everything. Not everything is linear, because I thought that I was supposed to do this linear thing and train, and I was, doing hardcore stuff. Like, I was doing like cold water conditioning, because you have to do Arctic training, jungle training, warfare, all that stuff. And so, so I would get in the shower during wintertime and then go outside wet and run in shorts Just to, like,
My Florida blood just curdled a little bit.
sure it did. I'm sure it
You
did.
said what?
But the point is that, like, you know, I learned all this hardcore, like, difficult stuff, but it wasn't linear to do this. It was to make me mentally tough to do this.
Right.
You know,
right.
and it just became apparent afterwards.
Those little pieces you pick up along the way really influence your current moments sometimes.
Your wisdom
current
far beyond your years.
Oh,
So
know.
far beyond your years.
Methuselah, I'm not, but I've got a few little grains and nuggets in there.
That's baloney.
Okay, so you release your music on your Little Son's label, your Little Son Records label.
Yes.
How was the journey to creating your own label? Because not everybody wants to undertake self-publishing.
Yeah, that can definitely be kind of rough. But I mean, it's just one of those things. It's like, you know, you just do it. You know, you just do it. You know, it just makes sense. You know, I mean, you know, I always try to work hard, obviously, and I always try to stay humble. It's like I don't like to be stopped by what I don't know how to do. You know,
I totally understand.
So as you progress, it's like, oh, this is really hard. I'm just gonna do this. You know, it's like, well, do you mean it? Again, it's like, yes, I do mean it. Well, stop being stupid and lazy and go do something. You know, so it just kind of worked out that way. But this is over the course of years.
Yes.
It's not like I was like, click, I'm gonna own a label. You know, it's just kind of like,
no,
it just kind of happened. So it's like, learn this, learn that, and it's like, oh, it's not so scary. So it's like, I do this now. Luigi, I do this.
Are you the only one on your label?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, my aspiration in life is to be at such a point to where, you know, because I'm my full-time job and I'm all these other people's kind of part-time job, you know?
Yeah.
So, but the goal would be to, you know, have me do something bigger to where I can be other people's big break. You know.
Yes, and
We're all
that's
hunting
what
for a
we
chance.
always all really go for is as you get, you know, you can learn from everybody you teach. So it's not a bad idea to reach out and help somebody out, and I love doing that too. So, all right, let's play well, first before we do this, because we're really, you know, gotta go ahead and close things out.
Too much. My bad.
No. First of all, what's the best way for people to find out more about you?
WesleyCook.com is the mothership.
That is
for
it.
sure.
You will
But
find
beyond,
it all.
Right. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatevs. I'm easy to find.
Yes,
Probably eating pizza somewhere.
Yeah, probably. And yeah, I saw your pizza pictures. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The
Eating
real
pizza.
halftime show.
Yeah.
Me embarrassing myself at a pizza place.
Yes. Well, let's listen to a clip from the single you just released, Stay Together.
So romantic.
Yes, it is so romantic.
It's dreamy, you know.
We're going to throw this in. It's going to be a lovely, lovely moment indeed. All right.
It's cold outside. We're under blankets by the fire. Leaves will fall, seasons change, but my heart will stay the same. If you want my time, then take it. If you need my love.
All right, guys. So, as you heard, the last song was a beautiful song called Stay Together by Wesley Cook. There is a direct link to that below. Right now, you should be hearing Give Me Something to Believe In, and that is also by Wesley Cook with another link in the description below. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to stop by www.audioprisment.com for more information about me and upcoming events. Follow all these fabulous people. Go find out more about them. Their stories are just as interesting as their creativity and their business drive. So, ladies and gentlemen, they deserve support, and they will support you back if you are up there and that same kind of self-determination, I would say. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care. See you next time.